And Caitlin Clark on Instagram commented this: "Refs couldn't stop us. Elite benchmark." Caitlin Clark made a post, about the referees not being able to stop them from winning this game. Caitlin Clark has been fined 200 whole American dollars. That's right. Good old USD, 200 of them. We got Caitlin Clark straight up clowning the WNBA for finding her for being an excited teammate on the bench. Bench mob. So it said Caitlin Clark said it. The refs couldn't stop them. They tried. 2 minutes ago, Caitlin Clark just got fined for simply supporting her team, and fans are shocked. What was just a celebration turned into controversy, and now the whole league is under fire. Don't miss what comes next. Like, subscribe, and share for more. WNBA stories? Yeah, she got fined. She got fined for saying refs like revs can't stop us. The WNBA have now fined Caitlin Clark for saying refs can't stop us. What world do we live in? Caitlin Clark commented on Instagram, "Refs couldn't stop us. Elite bench mob after her team's big moment." Shockingly, the WNBA fined her just for saying that, proving how sensitive the league has become about even small celebrations. You would think that that means nothing. You would think that that means absolutely nothing. You would think it means nothing, right? Refs couldn't stop us, elite bench mob. It wasn't for the lack of trying. Glad they're having fun and celebrating like no other teams. Will she get fined for saying that? Yeah, she got fined. She got fined for saying revs like revs can't stop us. The WNBA have now fined Caitlin Clark. After the Fever's upset win, Caitlin Clark's post saying refs couldn't stop us led to a $200 fine. Fans and analysts were stunned that such a harmless remark turned into punishment from the league. Caitlin Clark said she was fined $200 for commenting, quote, "Refs couldn't stop us" on Instagram following the Fever's Game 2 win. Caitlin Clark was fined $200 by the WNBA for a lighthearted comment on social media. Despite all she has done to bring money, ratings, and attention to the league, officials chose to penalize her for simply celebrating her team. Caitlin Clark has been fined 200 whole American dollars. That's right. Good old USD, 200 of them, of the big ones going directly to Kathy Angelburr and the league office. Because of some social media stuff we're going to get into in just a second, but I just want to talk about the absurdity that it is that Caitlin Clark would be fined by the WNBA of all people. The league fined Caitlin Clark for being an excited teammate on the bench and celebrating with her squad. She turned the moment into humor online, mocking the WNBA's decision and showing the fans how unfair the punishment was. The bench mob has been lit for the Indiana Fever, cheering the group on, and the WNBA don't like it. WNBA don't like it. They trying to find the GOAT. I'ma start a GoFundMe for the GOAT. She don't need it. But we not going to let the WNBA take Caitlin Clark's money. GoFundMe for the GOAT. The viral post that triggered the fine showed Caitlin Clark proudly saying refs couldn't stop them. Elite bench mob. That single statement spread everywhere online, and it became the reason she was fined $200. This was a couple of days ago. Then she went on to say, elite bench mob. Now that is the post that right there that has got Caitlin Clark fined. Now what's crazy about all this too? Like how they know Caitlin Clark said that? How they know somebody ain't Hacker X? Okay, I mean her Instagram. On social media, Caitlin Clark herself confirmed the punishment. Got fined $200 for this? Bench mob will be even more rowdy tomorrow. Instead of backing down, she used the fine to fire up her team even more. Tweeted out earlier today, got fined $200 for this. LOL, laughing face emojis. Bench mob will be even more rowdy tomorrow. Let's go. And what Caitlin Clark said, refs couldn't stop us. Caitlin Clark's short Instagram caption celebrating her team's upset win instantly drew a fine from the WNBA. The league turned a simple, fired-up message into controversy, proving how strict they are with Indiana Fever players. Posted a 7-word Instagram caption celebrating her squad, and the WNBA fines her for it. Now, Caitlin Clark has embodied the simple fact that you don't have to only impact your team on the court. But even if you're off the court due to an unfortunate situation with her being out for the season due to her injuries, you can still make an impact. And you can't make this stuff up because we're watching a league that claims it wants to grow, claims it wants more viewers, claims it wants stars. And every time someone like Caitlin Clark or Sophia Cunningham, fans were stunned that the league fined Caitlin Clark simply for saying, refs couldn't stop us. Many felt it was madness, arguing she was only celebrating her team, not attacking officials. Yet the WNBA still punished her. I'm pretty sure she just said the refs can't stop them celebrating. This isn't even her going at refs. It's literally like if you say the word refs and you're an Indiana Fever player, you're going to get fined. If you say the word refs as a Fever player, it has the word referees has to be spoken. Cannot be said by an Indiana Fever player. Otherwise, it's a fine. Sophie Cunningham joked about Clark's $200 fine, saying it might break the bank, and even suggested starting a GoFundMe. This lighthearted reaction showed how ridiculous the punishment seemed to both players and fans. It's a joke. It's so much joke that Sophie has got jokes. She retweeted this. That's really going to break the bank for her. Starting a GoFundMe now? Music, Sophie, you got jokes. Hun, you got jokes. Yeah. So, Sophie Cunningham Central, I'll donate. Clark herself laughed off the fine, tweeting that the bench mob will be even more rowdy tomorrow. Her response turned the situation into motivation, showing she wasn't bothered, and instead used the fine to pump up her team. Talks about it here on Twitter. She says, got fined $200 for this. The bench mob will be even more rowdy tomorrow. Let's go at Indiana Fever. This was an Instagram comment, it looked like. Where is from game 2, and she notes that the refs couldn't stop us. Elite bench mob said they're going to be even more rowdy tomorrow. Caitlin Clark doesn't care about the fine sparked online support, with fans saying $200 was nothing compared to Clark's influence. Many mock the league for targeting its biggest star instead of fixing poor officiating, calling the punishment straight up corny. Them new Caitlin Clark sneakers about to fly off the shelves. We don't give a damn about your $200 fine, Kathy Engelberg. We don't care. We do not care. Rather than finding players for being excited on the bench and for letting it be known how trash your referees are, why don't you start finding referees for not calling fouls? Clark's viral post gathered millions of views and thousands of comments. Supporters told her not to delete it, saying the fine only made the Fever stronger. And many even offered to pay the fine themselves as a show of loyalty. Won 6 million views and 547 comments. Talk about literally breaking the damn internet. Bree stated, "Your active Twitter era is so much fun. Keep it up." Somebody else said, "Don't ever delete this. Finding the Fever girls only make them stronger." Thanks for adding my pose. Sophie Cunningham again made fun of the situation, laughing that Clark's $200 fine was nothing compared to her own much bigger penalties. Fans joined in, agreeing the league looked foolish for handing out such a small, petty punishment. That's $200 she spent probably. Seriously, what the F? My last grocery bill was more than this. Kathy Engelbert, you are petty as F. Just quit before you get fired. WNBA clearly has an agenda against the Fever. Many fans pointed out the irony that the league claims to want more stars and attention, yet they find Caitlin Clark for something as small as a celebratory caption. This left people calling the WNBA weak and insecure. A $200 fine. And after the game, Caitlin Clark gets on Instagram and posts, "As you guys can see, ref couldn't stop us." That's it. No slurs, no attacks, just a fired-up caption celebrating the team and taking a jab at what was, let's be honest, horrific officiating. But it's also, we all know, trash talk, right? The fine against Caitlin Clark fueled an US against the world mentality for the Indiana Fever. Analysts noted this could actually make the team stronger, as Clark and her teammates now play with the belief that the league is against them. I've learned wrongfully prosecuting people can make them stronger. League isn't ready for Caitlin Stout. Caitlin Clark, man, the Indiana Fever. Like I've said this, I was like, one of the reasons why they're so good is because they have this like us against the world mentality, and they have this mentality that the league hates them. And if you think that everyone hates you and everyone's against you and the league's against you, you're going to work harder. It is its natural human emotion. If you want to prove somebody wrong, a lot of times wanting to prove somebody wrong. Critics highlighted that Clark is the WNBA's most valuable asset. Yet instead of protecting her, the league makes an example out of her. Fans said the punishment proves the WNBA is sabotaging its own growth by targeting its biggest star. It's crazy. This league, this LE, and like I said the other day, I've seen the analytics now. Sophie Cunningham is now the third ranked as the third biggest superstar in the WNBA. Observers called the $200 fine comical, saying it exposed how the WNBA prioritizes silencing its stars instead of fixing officiating. For someone who has carried the league's popularity, the decision felt like an unnecessary power move. $200 fine. Are you kidding me? You can add this to the folder of, things that go against Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, innocuous social media jokes. And something else I want to get into are some comments from Sophie Cunningham. The league is so mad that we won because we're literally not supposed to be here at all. And that just kind of fuels our fire even more. But it was just so fun. It was one of those games that first of all, I was sweating my ass off because I was so nervous and I don't really get anxious about stuff. I was so anxious. Like I could not sit still. I was legit. I felt like I played with how much I was sweating. And so the punishment added to the belief that the WNBA leadership is jealous of Indiana Fever's success. Sophie Cunningham even admitted the league seemed mad that we won, which only added fuel to the team's fire going into the next round. Indiana Fever not supposed to be here. Not supposed to advance to the second round. Everybody got pie on their face because the Indiana Fever continued to win games regardless. And now everybody has pie on their face and they look stupid. It's as simple as that. Everybody looks dumb. Even with injuries, fans pointed out how Clark's fiery spirit and support for the bench mob kept the Fever alive. The fine only highlighted the league's inconsistency, with many saying it should focus on improving refereeing instead. So this is the status report for tomorrow's game against the Aces. Kayla Clark can't come back, guys. I know y'all been hitting me up about that video. Probably drop it tomorrow. Probably drop a video talking about why Kayla Clark can't come back, how the Fever screwed all that up. But Chloe Bybie's out, Caitlin's out, Sydney Colson out, Sophie out, dancers out. I don't know what's going on with Dammers dances at this point. Some argued the $200 punishment wasn't about money, but a warning. Analysts suggested it was the league's way of foreshadowing more serious penalties, signaling that Clark could be targeted in future games if she keeps speaking out. What if this is the WNBA foreshadowing? We're seeing how you're acting on the bench. We're seeing how you're talking to the officials on the bench. We will tee you up. Now, whether I think that she deserves a tee for it or not, we're not even going to get into that. Fans saw the fine as proof of deeper issues in the WNBA. Control, insecurity, and leadership problems. Instead of encouraging honest voices like Clark's, the league tried to silence her, making themselves look weak and insecure. You can still make an impact. And you can't make this stuff up because we're watching a league that claims it wants to grow, claims it wants more viewers, claims it wants stars. And every time someone like Caitlin Clark or Sophia Cunningham brings eyes, energy, and honesty to the game, the league steps in to shut them up. Caitlin Clark fined for saying refs couldn't stop us. Fans call it madness. She was fined $200 for celebrating her team. Unreal how the WNBA makes an example out of her. Clark laughed off the fine, saying the bench mob will be even more rowdy tomorrow. Fans mocked the league, saying $200 is nothing, and the punishment only made her stronger. I'm pretty sure she just said the refs can't stop them celebrating. This isn't even her going at refs. It's literally like if you say the word refs and you're an Indiana Fever player, you're going to get fined. But instead, you publicly make it known you fired your number one by far superstar. You find her talks about it here on Twitter. She says, "Got Finn $200 for this?" The bench mob will be even more rowdy tomorrow. Let's go at Indiana Fever. This can't be real. $200 is like 3 of my trips to Taco Bell. That's going to hurt. Supporters turned the fine into motivation, promising to back Caitlin Clark and the Fever no matter what. Fine for supporting her team, but celebrated by millions of fans. Like, subscribe, and share for more updates.